I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know which way is up right now. There are mornings where I think I am better prepared to hop on the air than I am fresh after an AC/DC concert. But I will assure you that I will do the best I can. We're looking at cloudy skies, rainy today, lows, or highs rather. See, this is what I'm talking about. In the lower 60s. Rain tonight, 55. And then tomorrow, similar to today, 66 degrees. Looking ahead to Thursday, cloudy and upper 50s for the high. Welcome to Tuesday. If I say it's Monday, you'll understand. Fly in the Wall Productions, bringing you the Aired Out podcast live from Barrie, Vermont, on the web at airedoutVT.com, streamed everywhere you get your podcasts. Thank you so much for tuning in. Birthdays today. Arlene Billington on this day 6 of the month of May. Ruthie Adams, great lady. Danielle Kalselman, Krista Carpenter, Dylan Spencer, Ashley Key, Jared Ball, Naomi Gabori, Brenda Hutchinson, Cheyenne Buck, Ashley Lang, Cameron Campbell, Stephen Hogan, and Marcel Messier. Celtics lost last night. Red Sox going to be with the Rangers tonight in Boston. It is a brand new day. And I hope you're off to a great start. I'm going to see if Chuck will answer this morning. Yes, I was at an AC/DC concert with Chuck, who is my lifelong cohort of AC/DC loving fools. One of my closest friends. And it looks like he's nodding. Seriously, I think he's sleeping in. I'm trying to reach Chuck this morning. Chuck is...
You've reached Chuck Murray.
There he is. Yeah, he's sleeping. I knew it. Chuck is one of these friends that I have who lives and breathes love for AC/DC. He and I are, I would say, equal fans. Although, I want it to be noted here that Chuck did not cry when Angus came out Sunday night at Gillette Stadium. I did. Not only once, but 3 times. Once at the beginning, once in the middle, during Bon, you're killing me already, buddy. Listen, if you want to come on the air, you know my number. Call me. Once at the beginning when Angus came out, once during his 20-minute guitar solo, and then at the very end when they encored with For Those About to Rock, and the cannons were going off. You have to understand, and I know, listen, I met a guy who. I worship this man. This was his 7th AC/DC concert. You have to understand, I became an AC/DC fan when I was 10 years old in 1980. I have wanted to see these guys for 44 years, ever since then. And I have missed, in the past, some opportunities. I think Bon was telling me 2016 is when they were last at Gillette Stadium. I was sure at that point, especially when they were touring again and they were only in Europe, I was sure that I had missed my opportunity. I had written it off. It was a bucket list item that I knew that I was going to pass away someday, having never have seen AC/DC. And even telling my daughter, for the last 10 years of her life, I've always dreamed of seeing AC/DC, and I never will because they're done. And they resurrected themselves. And they, thank God, came back to America after running around Europe. And they did this North American tour. And there wasn't anything that was going to get in my way this time. And Chuck felt the same way. And to be there, standing next to Chuck and his son Kurt, and my 10-year-old daughter, who is such an AC/DC fan, had the red horns on her head, standing on her chair next to me and jumping up and down and head bobbing the whole night. All of our ears are ringing. Even Chuck said, "This is too much for me, man. My ears are ringing. My head is just pounded." Chuck, good morning.
Good morning. I never said it was too much for me.
You did say it. You said, I've had enough.
I said, oh my God, my ears are ringing. That's what I said.
Chuck,
you're right.
Listen, I've been talking smack about you. Please, to just tell everyone your experience of this concert.
I thought it was absolutely awesome. I mean, it was fucking great. I've never seen anything like it. And I've been to Woodstock. How many people can say that?
Right.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, the fact that he's 70 years old and was putting on the show that he was putting on was phenomenal. I mean, I did not expect that type of show. I mean, those guys rock hard, real hard. And at 70, let's see, and what Brian's almost 80.
Yeah.
I mean, damn.
Yeah, and they never stopped. It's not like they took an intermission. I mean, there was a little bit of a pause in between each song. I mean, they would just.
We were waiting for. I mean, the fans were waiting for the intermission so they could take a break. But the band didn't stop, so it was
nonstop.
Awesome.
Yeah, listen. Tell us about who was you, and you were telling me this, but I want you to tell everyone who was playing Malcolm Young's guitar.
I believe that was the nephew. That was actually his guitar. I was talking to a gentleman outside the hotel room the next day, and which I knew, I just didn't pick up on it, but apparently that's the nephew of the brothers. And he took on the reins after Malcolm died.
I mean, listen to that guy's playing. I mean, it was just amazing.
Right. It was amazing. I mean, the whole thing was amazing. I'm still speechless. I'm still trying to absorb it all, you know. And I just basically, my son was like, man, I expected you to be a lot more wound up. But I was just absorbing it all, watching, listening. I mean, Angus slowed down a little bit with his age, but not much.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't rip like you used to, but I mean, think about arthritis at 70 years old and trying to do that. No, man, that's crazy.
I wonder how many cortisone injections into his knees he had before the show.
Well, I have quite a few, I'm sure. And his hands and everything.
Everything. I mean, those guys just constant 1-2 punch the whole night. And I'll say this for the record, Chuck. You glancing over at you and seeing you with your eyes closed, just standing there, head leaning, looking up to the sky, eyes closed, the rain coming down on your face. You were
beautiful.
You were in a zen, man. You were just like a Tibetan monk in a trance. You were in a trance. And listen, it could have been a couple of those chocolate chip cookies you had before the show. I don't know.
Could have been the chocolate chip cookies. It could have been the edibles. It could have been the 3 or 4 joints. Yeah, could have been.
It could have been.
Could have been the margaritas out in the parking lot.
Please tell all about the outstanding tailgating experience.
Oh, we got treated great. I mean, I recommend you go to a show and bring somebody who's hearing impaired, because you get special treatment. It's awesome. I mean, your buddy there,
Victor.
Thank God he came along, and we got free parking. We got I mean, it was great.
And
You tell the people, even though we talked about it for days and weeks, how when we got there, you had just discovered where we were. Tell them that, JD.
what are you talking about?
Oh, tell them about how all this time that you thought you paid $650 for bleacher seats. And even though we explained it to you multiple times, you figured it out when we got there that, yes, you're bringing your daughter on the floor.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a busy guy. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah, both of you, even Cheryl was sitting in line like, oh shit.
Listen, I'm still wearing my bracelet that says
I
floor
am too.
on it.
I am too. I am too.
Will you ever take it off?
I've been on for a few days. Yeah.
Yeah. And listen, Chuck, I understand about the parking and everything, but what about the tailgating, the menu?
Oh, tailgating, the menu was great. You guys, the chef was awesome. We had shrimp, we had Italian sausage, green peppers,
margaritas, taco salad.
It was supposed to be the buffalo, but that's okay. I'll get over it.
It's all right.
You notice I didn't eat much because it wasn't the buffalo dip, but I didn't say anything.
And Sherilyn's pasta salad, and I mean, it was just...
the pasta salad. I was actually supposed to take that home. I forgot it.
Do you know?
I was gonna steal it.
Have you seen how many comments have come in from Vermonters that were there?
That's the other thing. Like, we all kind of grouped in together. It was kind of weird. And my son was like, because we ran into people we knew and a guy that recognized me. And my son's like, wherever we go, you run into people you know.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We're not even in the same state.
I know.
I'm like, well, Kurt, I've been around, buddy.
And the guy in front of me, Tim Chase, nice guy, met him for the first time. Guy from Brookfield. He was there with his wife. They were having a friggin' blast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy I'm talking about. We both recognize each other, but can't remember where. It's probably like 3 or 4. Then I just found out that my principal here at the school, her parents went.
Yeah,
that's
man.
wild.
There's a good number of Vermonters that were there, and they're just like, I mean, that's it. My Facebook question of the day is, what's your number one bucket list dream concert? One that you've never been to.
Oh, this was definitely it.
That was it right there. Yeah.
Had to have been. I mean, I don't
years.
really. I mean, there's not much left. I mean, the skydiving. I wanted to do that. I always wanted to sleep with a porn star, but that's not going to happen now. So I pretty much filled most of my bucket list.
Yeah, and listen, I'll do the skydiving with you, buddy. I've already told you that I'm
yeah,
in.
I'd love to do that.
But listen, for me, it's been Pink Floyd, it's Genesis. It's, I mean. There's plenty of concerts that Pink Floyd would probably be number 2.
I would say besides the AC/DC and Nirvana play would have been great.
Zeppelin, yes, thank you. Led Zeppelin, yes.
I said Vermont. I didn't say Led Zeppelin. I said Nirvana.
I know Dave Horner said Led Zeppelin, and he's 100%.
Yes, Led Zeppelin would be nice.
Right at the
that
top.
Would be super. Imagine hearing that live. My God, I'd have to be tripping balls if I went to that show.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just, I told you, Chuck, it's supposed to pour. It's supposed to rain. I don't care what Mother Nature.
The rain was perfect. That was perfect. I love the rain. That couldn't have been any better.
Tell our listeners about that. About that solo, that guitar solo that went on for 20 minutes.
Yeah, 20 minutes. And then I forgot that it was the end of a song. And then all of a sudden they finished the end of the song. And I was like, oh, crap, that's right. It was so long. It was crazy. Yeah, it was, amazing. Amazing.
I mean,
I can't think of anything else that I would have liked to have got my tattoo, but you can't do walk-ins anymore. So I got to make an appointment to do that now.
For the record, I was trying to talk Chuck out of getting his tattoo because he wanted to get it. He wanted to get the AC/DC bell right on his forehead. And I was, Chuck, you have to understand this is a permanent thing, buddy.
On my forehead, really?
Do you really want to do that?
Well, it's big enough. I mean, I ain't got no hair, and my buddy's always telling my forehead's caving in over my eyes. So maybe I should do that.
God, Listen, and what about Lily, man? Look at Lily
Oh,
rocking out.
that was hilarious. And then when she had to go to the bathroom and her song came on and she turned around and went running back, that was priceless.
She ran
Of course,
right up to the front with me.
you do know the monster you're creating, right? You do realize how excuse my language fucked you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, man. She is a heavy AC/DC fan, and
Yes, and she's a very cute blonde,
yeah,
and you're in trouble.
yeah, I know, man.
You better lock that shit down, brother.
So
Oh,
Lily
wait,
and I,
and you taught her how to ride a dirt bike, so you're so
yeah,
screwed.
I know. Lily and I ran up front 3 times. You ran up front too.
Yeah, I got up quite a little ways. I got up as far as I dared to. It was pretty packed. Again, we had my son, even though he's 19 and tall and looks like a grown man, but I was kind of in dad mode quite a bit, so I couldn't do what I normally do. Plus, I'm getting old now, so. But I had to kind of contain myself a little bit because I had my kid with me.
You before we were going through the gate and entering the stadium, you got down on your hands and knees in front of Lily and pointed right in her face and said, "Now look, don't you go anywhere. Don't you go anywhere without
Because I
us."
could feel her shake, because I could see her shaking. She was so nervous because that place is huge.
Huge.
So I stopped and I just said, "Hey, hon, just stick with us. You're around 3 big boys. Nothing's going to happen. Stick to us like glue." I was dressed kind of in the schoolboy outfit. I said, "Just look for me if we get lost." Your mama was right there. I mean, everything worked perfect. I was worried, but it was really family oriented. There was a lot of, kids and family. Like, we turned around and there was kids behind us.
I know.
So that's great. That's amazing. But I mean, it's funny how a band that used to be considered a devil worshiping band, has a family outing going. You know what I mean? It's like a family crusade going to this thing. It was crazy.
Sure. I just, I kept saying to Kurt, and your son Kurt, he is like very quiet, very reserved. I've never seen Kurt light up like that with a big smile on his face.
Me neither. I mean, he exploded. We were at the party. We were having. I'm sure he was, sipping on some things he shouldn't have been. So, he was a little wound up, and it was pretty cool to see.
Yeah. Our heads were ringing. Our hearts were just full. I mean, did you tear up at any point there, buddy? I don't think you did.
No, I was in a trance. I was just watching. And then, of course, I'm short. So, I was trying to see, I don't know how I ended up with a 6-foot tall giant son, but lucky bastard could see everything.
And here you are. You got dressed up in the schoolboy, the white shirt.
Yeah, I did. I half-assed it, though. After seeing what everybody else was wearing, I wish I'd done a little bit more. But
there was a couple of schoolboys there.
And girls. There were a couple girls dressed that way, too.
Did you see the lady who was just covered in AC/DC patches? She had a leather coat on.
I saw a guy like that, but I didn't see a girl.
It was absolutely phenomenal. And, I was worried that, something horrible was going to happen and we were going to miss this. And
hoping he didn't have a heart attack.
It wasn't, I know. It wasn't until we were actually in our seats where I looked at you and I'm like, oh my God, Chuck.
Yeah, we're actually here.
It's going to happen right now.
Yeah, it's wild.
This band is my all-time most favorite, light years beyond every other band.
They don't get the recognition they deserve. They do cover a wide spectrum of music. It's just, these are real rock and rollers. They don't just do one style. Right. They got the blues. They got a little country in there. They got slow. They just don't get the recognition they need, and people just don't get it.
Sure.
But they're getting, of course, when they pass, then all of a sudden, how that works.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What's amazing is even my little kid, man, she says to me in the car on the way home, Dad, I'm so glad Angus is alive because if he was dead, she said, if he was dead, there would be no AC/DC.
No, that wouldn't. No. I mean, that's a band. See, that's a band it's all about the guitar, really. I mean, nobody really cares about the lyrics.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love everything, but I'm all about Angus. I love hearing him play.
Yeah.
I can't even describe it. It's like angels singing.
Last time you were at Gillette Stadium was Metallica, right?
I was 25 years ago. I was a Metallica. I think it was 25 years. Actually, it was 2000. So it was Metallica and Power Man 5000. And I got cheap seat tickets for my buddy Sean Donahue, and I rented a car, went down, and we were so far up that we just were running down pounding beers, so we didn't miss the show. I went up, drank, got drunk, smoked one joint, and that's it. I don't remember much. I mean, there's more to the story, but I don't need to go into details. But,
oh, yes, we do. At some point.
Well, it involves smoking and then puking over the two rows in front of me. He covered them. Oh, and my friend Sean kind of throwing me over his shoulder and like, we got to go before you end up dead.
That was the year that plane flew over Gillette Stadium and just dumped thousands of gallons of bleach on all of the seats. I remember that.
Yeah. Oh, and the other thing is I had puked on my shoes, so I was actually in the Gillette Stadium bathroom in the toilet.
Oh, that's nice.
Rinsing my feet off, flushing the toilet.
Beautiful.
But we got to remember, this is 25 years ago. I wasn't the same man.
Sure. Sure. You know, I said to you, I said to Kurt 100 times, I said to everyone, and Sherilyn, I mean, she's beside herself. She just absolutely, and Vic, my God.
Yeah.
You know,
this is the thing. You need to put that in perspective. Now, Vic is a man who's hearing impaired.
Yes.
And he goes to an AC/DC show because he can feel it. You understand how that is, dude? How powerful that is? It blows my mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
It blows my mind.
I know.
And I went to school with a lady that had the same problem. So I had no problem communicating with him at all.
Yeah. Vic is a trip, isn't he, though?
Yeah, he's a great guy. I like him.
Listen,
I want to go hang out in the hot tub for sure.
Well, we're all going to do that at some point for sure. But you know, I told everyone multiple times, even you. I'm like, guys, this is it. This is it right here. You can't say, oh, this is awesome, but the next one's going to be awesome too.
Yeah, no, this is probably it. No, I can't believe it. Because you could tell by looking at them that they're pushing through for the fans.
Oh, yeah.
It's not about the money. It's not about all that. You can just see that they're giving us one more ride.
Yeah. They were. You're exactly right. Especially Brian. I mean, he was just pushing his vocals every ounce that he had for the fans. Yeah, I mean, these guys, I don't know how they did it. I don't know. I mean, I was exhausted.
Yeah, Kurt was pretty impressed. He couldn't believe it.
Angus never stopped moving. I mean, he literally never stopped. His feet never stopped. Well,
he's always been like that. That's how he keeps his rhythm.
Yeah.
He's always got these weird gyrations he does. It's always kind of weird.
Yeah.
He's got really funny faces when he plays, too. It's great.
Oh, my God. I mean, just to see
those faces.
Yeah. Yeah, right. to see on that Jumbotron.
Oh, that was wicked.
Wicked. God, just to see his facial expressions. I mean, interacting with the crowd. And
you know, I got to be honest with you. At some point, when they had the pictures of the speakers up,
yeah,
I remember looking up and going, damn, that's a lot of amps. I don't remember those before.
Yeah.
But it was the screen.
Yeah.
I couldn't even. I guess I was a little more high than I thought.
Yeah. I look over Kurt and I'm like, Kurt, that's a wall of speakers. And he had to like do a double take there. He's like blinking, going, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, that was it. That was the monitor.
Right?
They weren't real.
Right, but they were up like I don't know. It was probably
what though.
3
Imagine
levels.
If it was. Imagine if all those were pumping. Jesus.
Well, I think it was like 3 levels though.
Yeah.
It was,
Well,
you know.
I don't know. I've been to a lot of shows, and my ears never rang like that before.
Brian is saying, I bet they're going to try it again next year. Not many people can sell out Gillette Stadium.
So they did end up selling out? I wasn't sure. Cool.
I believe so. And I'll tell you, man, it's like if for whatever reason AC/DC is able to tour again, there's no question that we're going. I wanted to go to Pittsburgh.
There's no way Brian's going to do it again. There's just no way.
I wanted
He barely could do this one.
Yeah.
And I found out some juice, too, why Axl wasn't singing. I'll talk to you later about that. Apparently, one of the members did not like working with Axl Rose.
One of the members of AC/DC?
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of them, I don't know if it was the bassist or not, quit or threatened to quit or something like that because he didn't want to work with Axl.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to this guy out at the hotel for a good hour about all this stuff. I thought I was a fan. I don't know shit.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not even.
Yeah,
I don't even want to. I'm a fan. That's it. I'm not a super fan. I'm not. I met super fans.
You are a super fan, in my opinion.
Well, maybe to you, but considering how schooled I got talking to this guy, it made me realize I don't know shit.
Yeah, I met up with a guy in an elevator, and we were chewing each other's ear off. The freaking elevator door opened up, and we had to hold it open to finish our conversation.
Yeah, and on the ride home, I kept running into people at the gas stations and pulling over to go to the bathroom. You could see everybody's wearing their shirts. It was crazy.
Right. We stopped at a Chinese restaurant, and this guy was like, "How was the show last night?" And I was like, "Unbelievable." And he was like, "Yeah, I've seen him 5 times." And I was like, "Oh my God,
5 times?
Yes.
Wow, he saw him back in the day. Then
I met another guy that has seen AC/DC 7 times.
Jesus, I've seen Metallica 4 times, but that's about all I got. for for seeing a band one after another. Or more than one, excuse me.
Listen, all of it. There's no better group of people I could have been with other than the people that I was with.
And I got to say, JD, I'm very proud of you because Kurt and I were making jokes that you were probably going to corny this out bad, but you did a good job. You didn't go geek at all.
What are you talking about? What are you?
Your fans know what I'm talking about. I don't need to elaborate.
What are you saying? What are you saying?
You weren't cheesy at all with your little cheesy one-liners. Let's just say Carol didn't come out.
Well, there was a few times where you're like, "All right, JD, come on, we got to go in. Just get to it."
I was hanging with Ray. I wasn't hanging with Carol.
Oh my God. Listen, man, can we go to another concert together? Who will it be?
I don't know who's. I don't know.
You should see.
Angel has got to have this experience.
Yes.
She missed out on something. This was her first concert, just like Kurt's.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason I was looking like I was, because I was feeling really bad that she wasn't there. I mean, it was her and I do a lot of traveling, and her and I travel a lot together, and it's just it just wasn't the same. I'd have to say that's the one thing that bummered me out a little bit, was that she wasn't there.
Yeah.
But we got to make it happen. Something. I know she's kind of a Guns N' Roses fan. Fine. She doesn't really.
Fine. Let's go.
Huh?
Let's go. That's fine. Let's do it.
I got to find something. I asked her, like, well, who do you want to see? Well, I don't know. I'm like, baby, you got to have this experience, or I'm going to die feeling guilty.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll figure it out. But we got to get her. She's got to have this experience like we did.
At some point.
I don't want her life to go by her not experiencing this. I need to see the look on her face.
Sure. I got to tell you, man, and I'll say this till I'm in the grave, is to look over and to see my little girl, and you saw it, man. You were right there.
It was crazy. Yeah.
The look on her face.
Yeah, she was loving it. She was loving it. Yeah, you've created a monster. You have no idea.
I gotta get that video that Kurt shot of Lily standing on the top of that chair with the red horns on her head.
Yeah.
in the rain, just fist pumping.
Yeah, didn't whine, didn't cry. She was just one of the boys.
Yeah, she really was. Oh my God. Buddy, thank you. I listen, I can't thank you enough. I love you to pieces.
I love you too, buddy.
Our friendship means more to me than anything, and to be able to be there and see AC/DC with you was just amazing. And to see
yes, brother. I feel the same way.
I mean, it's just unreal, man. And
Careful, you're gonna start crying if you keep going too much.
And did you see Sherilyn run across that parking lot at the end of the night, saying, just yelling, "I'm ruined! I'm ruined!"
I can't. Well, we were going. I took Lily to go to the bathroom. When we came back, I heard her saying it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looked pretty excited.
She was beside herself. All of us were. Chuck, I love you, man. Listen, there are some, I know there's always going to be stuff to talk about, but get your ass in here sometime soon, would you?
Well, we got Thursday,
Your Thursday is fine.
All right, well, we can do Thursday like we were doing, as long as nothing's going on here. I do need to get out there and take down that mannequin, though. They're going to think weird why I'm here, and there's a mannequin of me out in the field raking.
Right. Look, Thursday is G's spot, but I'm sure you're always invited.
Yeah, I don't want to take. I don't want to. How can I word this? I don't want to upset the G spot.
Yeah. No, please.
Because it makes because it'll make a mess if it gets.
Yes, it will. More ways than one. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah. So if he's okay with it, I'll come on. But I don't want a G catastrophe.
Yes. We'll see you Thursday, man.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too, buddy. Chuck Martin, one of my best friends, and what an experience it was at AC/DC to be with him and Lily and Sherilyn and Vic and Kurt. I'll never forget it, ever, for the rest of my life. Are there more stories to share about AC/DC? You bet. And I love these comments that are coming in. Facebook question of the day: what's that one bucket list concert that you've never seen that you've got to see? And man, there's some people coming in here with comments about memories of Blue Oyster Cult, and what else am I seeing here? Oh man, what was it? Metallica, and a few other bands: Black Sabbath, Blue Oyster Cult, Molly Hatchet. Jesus, man. Though, I mean, that's. What's that one concert? AC/DC was number one for me, so that's off the bucket list. Number two on the bucket list would either be, I mean, it's Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin, but neither one of those are going to happen. And there were some rumors that were flying around it killed me. I don't know, last week or the week before, that Led Zeppelin was reuniting for a world tour. And when I saw that, I lost my mind, and then quickly learned that it was just a hoax. But, I mean, if that were to happen, Led Zeppelin would be number two on the list. But, number two on the list would either be Led Zeppelin or AC/DC a second time. I don't know. Jethro Tull, Pink Floyd. Yeah, Pink Floyd and Zeppelin are right there in the number two spot. Everyone needs the concert experience. Ain't that right, Kidder? Man. And to see AC/DC. And I said to Lily, I'm like, listen, you're 10 years old. You're going to be, for the rest of your life, telling your friends that the first concert you went to was AC/DC. And that's probably going to take out everybody else's. I don't know, man, unless you're not an AC/DC fan. Yeah. I'm still processing this. This is going to take me a while. Look at this. Quiet Riot. Oh, my God. Def Leppard, Joan Jett. That's some serious stuff there, Linda. I didn't know that about you. You're a Hellraiser. Yeah, it was just unbelievable. I'm so blessed to be alive, and not to get all sappy on you. Because the Rolling Stones, the Who, yeah, the Who is right up there. I'm sorry, Dave, I forgot about the Genesis, the Who, Pink Floyd. That's it right there. That's it. I've seen Yes a few times in concert. Big fan. But to be I gotta just tell you, I just because I feel this and I felt this, just so lucky, so blessed to be alive and to have that experience with my little girl was so special for me. I mean, that's something that is in my soul now. It just is. And I kept, like, not a big religious guy, more of a spiritual guy, but I found myself feeling, and I'll be honest with you, I don't pray much, but I found myself feeling like I needed to say, as we were walking into Gillette Stadium, thank you for keeping me alive so that I can have this gift, this experience with my kid. So blessed. So blessed. Not only that, but to be around people that I love, to have Sherilyn with me, to sip on some margaritas and eat some sausage tailgating beforehand, and just to be surrounded by people that I love, people that love me, and just be surrounded by just great people. I mean, what a gift to meet Tim and his wife in front of me, to have that experience too. His wife gave Lily this little necklace that flashes. It was literally one of the most perfect nights of my entire life. I'll never forget it. If you have the opportunity, parents and or adults without kids, to take a child to an epic concert like that, don't pass it up, because that whole experience, what they see, what they're hearing, what they're feeling, will go right into their soul. And cameras, and I got to tell you, I took a ton of pictures, and of course I was going to share a bunch of them live on the air this morning, and decided not to, because the best cameras that you can have are your two eyeballs. And even though the pictures that we took came out great, they don't do justice for what you're seeing happening in front of you is better than any photograph that you can take. And the memory that you have of that is better. We took a lot of pictures, and I know I shared a few of Angus, and I'll share more. I'm sure I'm going to be sharing more here within the week, and maybe beyond that. Keep watching the Aired Out page. You'll see it. And, man, it's like I saw so many comments from Vermonters that were there. So many. It's so cool. I drop a picture of Angus on the Aired Out page, and I see all these other comments of people saying, I was there. We had that experience together. And some of those people that were there, their names I recognize, and some I don't. But I hope to meet them someday. I hope if I'm walking down the street or if I'm at Shaw's or whatever, that if you were at that AC/DC show, that you'll say, JD, I was there with you, man. I mean, it's just, I had goosebumps. I had tears. I loved every second, literally every second of it, no matter how much my head was pounding, ears ringing bad. Back at the hotel room when I laid down to go to bed, I was like, wow. But if there's any other better reason to have my ears ring, it would be because of the guitar of Angus Young. And I might have some hearing loss. I don't know. But I almost might say that it was worth it. Can't think of another band that would be more worth it. God, it's already 9:44. Before I forget, today being Tuesday, tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday from Washington County Mental Health. It is right at 23 Summer Street. It is free. It starts at 4:30. You walk in the doors. You can try acupressure, acupuncture, mindfulness meditation. All of the services are free. The chair and table massages, the Reiki, the myofascial body release, all of this is free. They just ask you to call ahead and just let them know that you would like a table massage or a chair massage first. 479-4055. Robin's going to answer the phone when you call. Just tell her that you want to be there at a certain time tomorrow. Starting at 4:30, goes till 7 o'clock. Well Space Building, 23 Summer Street. That's directly across the street from Summer Street Auto. Tell them I sent you. Find them on Facebook, too, Washington County Mental Health. I see, there's, and I know I'm snug on time here. There is so much going on. There's so much to talk about. From this guy that's dressing up as Jesus and pitching a white tent along the roadsides across central Vermont, holding a cardboard sign that says something about this isn't the homeless guy you're thinking of, or something like that. That has garnered quite a bit of attention here in Vermont. I will be talking about this. I got to pace myself here. I got the rest of the week in front of me. I will be talking about this guy. And I'm going to bring some folks on the air that hopefully can give some perspective to this. At some point, I'll get to it. I want to say before I forget, the bottle drive that was done as a fundraising effort for the third year for the Veterans Place in Northfield on Saturday was a massive success. Thank you to all who volunteered and donated bottles up in Barrytown, Northfield, and where I was in Berry City at Lenny's. The turnout was amazing. It was well over 4,000 bottles and cans donated just at Lenny's alone, that we trailered back and forth over to Beverage Baron, had them counted up. George over there and his team, my God, I could never do what they do. Counting 5 at a time. I mean, just moving like rapid fire. Hundreds of dollars raised between Northfield, Barrytown, and Berry City. It was a huge success. We were out there no matter what, in the pouring rain, for a long time. The Berry Lions Club, Lucas Herring, and Judy and Rick, and so many others. Many, many people. The Veterans Place is such an incredible organization. It is a home that houses about 10 veterans in Northfield. And they do incredible things for these veterans. And to think that I live and work in a community that can support an organization that much, that quickly, in such a short period of time, is mind-boggling. So thank you for participating in that and getting involved in that on Saturday. It was tremendous. I have seen the stories, the pictures, the news, the videos about Randy in Montpelier, the guy that There's a lot of there's a press release. I shared it, but it's all over. It's all over. I think I shared it. It's all over Facebook. It's all over everywhere. This guy who may or may not have been accosted by some folks in Montpelier. I believe he's homeless. Ended up swinging an axe. Police getting involved. Triggered a lot of stuff. Kind of spiraled out of control. I don't know Randy. I've heard a lot. But yeah, mental illness is everywhere. It's in every town. It's in every community. Homelessness is as well. There's a lot of people that are experiencing great despair. And there's a lot more to be said about this. And I will. I'll get to it. That's one of the things I wanted to let you know that's on my radar. I'm watching. I'm listening. Apparently, this all went down yesterday. So, yeah. Listen. Brandon Carbo last Friday. There were a lot of first-time listeners who caught that interview and who are not familiar with Aired Out. They were first-time viewers, first-time listeners, and they are not familiar with me. And I want to, first of all, thank them for listening, for commenting, and for also reaching out through airedoutvt.com, which I have received a lot of extensions from. I was surprised, maybe more than I think that I thought I would be, at how many comments came in. I'm told, I haven't even seen, at ACDC. But I've been told there's over 1,000 comments, and I have read through some of them briefly, and I will read through all of them. It may take me a little while, but I will. Some of the comments, I was scolded, I was shamed, and these names of these listeners are ones that I'm not familiar with. I don't think that they normally listen to Aired Out. I don't think that they know what I'm all about. I want to make it clear, at least to one of those listeners, and she knows who she is, because she frustrated me during the interview. And I want to thank my friend Chris for giving me some constructive criticism by saying, the next time you do an interview like that, it might be a good idea to not pay so much close attention to the comments that are coming in, because it did. It distracted me. And that one that I got from this lady, I think her name was Heather, but I can't remember, saying that I was interviewing Carbo for likes. And that really, that hit a nerve with me, because I don't interview people for likes. And if your name is Heather, I don't do this for likes. I love what I do, but not for likes, not for follows. I have to tell you, if I sit down and interview someone, and it is a interview that produces some thought, some reflection, some action, and it changes anyone's life, either the person that I'm interviewing or people that are watching or listening. And there's 20 people listening. I'm more than satisfied. I don't do this for likes, number one. And number two, if you feel that I interview anyone for the purpose of exploiting them, I beg and plead of you, please unfollow my Aired Out podcast. You don't understand me. You don't understand what I do and the reasoning behind what I do. You're out of touch if you feel that I'm exploiting anyone. I hate the word exploiting. Exploitation. It was done to my father. I don't exploit people. I share or help them share their stories with others. Next point. I do not believe everything that I see and hear and read. I do not believe every word that comes out of every mouth that is here on my podcast. I know that people will put their own spin on their own stories. They will create their own interpretations of their own reality. I understand that. I don't put anyone on the air thinking or trying to relay that it is the almighty truth. That is your job. Your interpretation of what people say on my show is your job, not mine. I will give anyone a microphone. I will let anyone share their story on my platform if they are willing to do so. And Brandon stood me up once, but he showed up and I put him on the air. If you don't like what you see or hear, just shut it off. Your parents should have taught you that from a young age. If you don't like the song on the radio or you don't like the TV show, change the channel. But don't badger me or try to shame me for allowing someone to come in here, whether you think he's a scumbag or not, to share his story on my camera and on my microphone, because I will always do that. If it's too much for you, if you can't handle it, just tune out. Or furthermore, don't follow my page. I hope you do, because not every show, not every episode that I do was like last Friday's. I goof around a lot on the show. I entertain. I try to give some community connection and some local beat dialed into what's happening here in our community, which I love, by the way. But I will also bring to light the things that are not so good, the hardships that we all endure, the good stuff and the bad stuff, the funny stuff, the silly stuff. Yes, I will act like I'm 15 sometimes. And I'll goof around. And maybe you'll laugh with me, and maybe you won't. And that's fine. But for those of you that felt that I was trying to make Brandon Carbo famous, or that I was glorifying his actions, his behavior, his lifestyle, you're out of touch. You're out of touch. And you don't understand who I am. I will interview anyone if they have a compelling story to share. Whether they are actively doing good by their neighbor, by their family, by their community, or whether they are actively doing bad, and everything in between. I love the elderly. I love children. I love interviewing kids, too. If they come in here, like the Granite City Blast baseball team who's trying to get to Cooperstown, I love stuff like that. I will also say this. I understand that because I own this podcast, that if I have a guest who comes in here and says something that a lot of people, whether it's outrageous or not, that a lot of people will say, oh, that was JD that said that. I understand that. G comes in here every Thursday and will say things that I do not agree with. G is a very, very different guy than me, but he's one of my best friends. And he says some pretty outrageous shit, as does Rex on Fridays. These guys, these two guys, this is just an example, and Chuck is one of them too. These are guys that I most absolutely, definitely do not agree with everything that they say. But they're loyal friends. And when they say they're loyal to me, and when they say something that is a little outrageous on the airways, I may not support what they say, but please remember whose lips it left. Sometimes I say things where that I reflect on later that day or later that week where I'm like, God, I can't believe I said that. I was kind of an asshole by saying that. Kind of a dink. Those guys too. They and me will say things that are misinterpreted or taken out of context all the time. Pretty much every single time I turn these microphones on, someone will have their own interpretation of what they say. And they'll take it and they'll spin it in their own mind and create their own fury. I can't change that. And I won't even attempt to change that. There was a comment that was said about a local church organization, which I happen to appreciate and love and have and will always continue to support on and off the air. It should have been better exemplified. But it wasn't. And maybe that individual will expand on that at some point, and maybe not. And that's fine too. It did not leave my lips. So therefore, I'm not going to try to speak for that individual. But I will say that if you think that I support anyone coming on my airwaves who is bashing any civic service organization in our community, you're out of touch. You're at the very least, you're wrong. But you're out of touch with the reality of who I am. That comment slipped by me because I was distracted by the comments that were coming in while we were live, and I was reading them, and I never even heard it. And if I had, I would have said, "Whoa, horsey, let's back it up here a little bit. Hang on." Let's put it into a better context of what you're trying to say here. Emotions run high sometimes on Aired Out. They do for me. They do for guests, listeners. The things we comment, the things we say. And it's easy to comment something when you're not here in the studio with us. But when you're sitting on this couch and you got a live microphone on you, I don't want people who are complacent. I don't want people who have nothing to say. I want people to say whatever comes to their mind. That's why the show's called Aired Out. Whether I agree with what they say or not. Again, I don't believe everything that I read and see and hear from any guest. And I most definitely don't believe every word that came out of Brandon Carbo's mouth last Friday. Listen, in some ways I am a sucker, but I'm not that much of a sucker. I understand there's a bigger picture here that's going on. And I don't expect you to believe every single thing that you hear in the microphone either, from Brandon Carbo or anyone else. Like I said earlier, every single person that shares a microphone in here has their own reality, their own understanding. Brandon even admitted himself that he's a pathological liar, that he believes some of his distorted reality, which is distorted by lots of things. Maybe some mental health, maybe some drugs, maybe his past, maybe his trauma of what he's dealt with, which has been unaddressed. And there's a lot of people that are wasting a lot of time saying, that's true what he said, that's not true what he said, that's true, that's not true. That's whether it's about his mother or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's not our job to be fact-checking everything about Brandon Carbo's life, his past, what he says, and what he doesn't say. There was a lot more that was unsaid than there was said last Friday by Brandon Carbo. A lot more. I didn't even scratch the surface with that guy. If you can't handle it, you know what to do. If you would like to see more stuff like that, where I'm sitting down and interviewing people about their lives, their interpretations of what they do, where they live, who they are, what their past has been, let me know. I mean, I've already got people saying, JD, you ought to run to Montpelier and interview Randy about what happened yesterday. I am probably one of the most understanding and forgiving guys that you'll ever know. To a point. To a point. And those that know me best know where my lines are that I draw. And those lines are usually drawn at the elderly and children. And anyone who does a disservice or harms in any way, directly or indirectly, children or the elderly especially. Those are hot buttons for me. And I draw the line. Anyone who harms a child in any way, physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, whatever it is, and we see the stories all the time. I have no sympathy for them, and I have no interest in them sharing their story or defending themselves or coming up with justification for or anything onto my platform. That'll never happen. But if someone is homeless or has had circumstances in their lives that have led them to the path that they're on, whether it's Brandon Carbo or anyone else, I'm curious. I want to learn what led them to where they are. I'm curious whether or not someone like this has the inert passion to change, whether they have any hope left in them to better themselves, to do something productive in their life, whether it's here in this community or whether they want to get out of here and go somewhere else and start over with a clean slate. I'm curious to know. I am naturally an inquisitive person. I want to hear what they have to say. I do believe in hope, even though I think hope can be very dangerous. I do believe that people can change. I also believe that some people will never change. Maybe I'm contradicting myself. I don't know. I gain and lose listeners all the time. I don't expect anyone to like or love me on the air or off the air. And certainly I don't have the goal every day of saying, I want everyone to love my podcast. I know that people won't. And if you don't, I won't take it personally. It's not for everyone. But I won't sugarcoat things. And I'll tell you, I don't see PTZ interviewing Brandon Carbo. I don't see CAX coming to the Granite City and interviewing Brandon Carbo. Or Local 22, Local 44. I don't see anyone giving people who are downtrodden a voice, a mic. I will do that, whether I believe what they say or not. I will do that whether you believe what they say or not. This podcast is something that introduces real stories and content that encourage dialogue about real everyday life. I do it unedited. I do it live, unfiltered. I don't pre-record stuff and edit it up and dress it up and polish it up. I give it to you in its purest form. And I let you reflect on it. I let you think about how it impacts you. Maybe it gives you hope. Maybe it allows you to reflect on your own challenges. I believe that realness can drive inspiration. I believe that. This live say it like it is approach here on Air It Out is something that I understand is unique. I have been told, JD, you're skating on thin ice. You shouldn't be doing a live podcast every morning. You're gonna hang yourself. My response to that is, already have. There's no way that I can do a live podcast without slip-ups, without mistakes, without things where I mean, it's happened before. God, I wish I didn't say that. God, I wish I didn't act like that. But in the meanwhile, we're capturing it like it is, people. We're helping to resolve stuff, to drive understanding, to reflect on accomplishments. I love the Granite City Blast Baseball's coming in here. They've met their goal in fundraising efforts to go to Cooperstown, New York. I love that. That is an accomplishment. We saw that being built. We've seen that from when they needed to raise $20,000 and they were nowhere near it. And then we've seen them come in here and say, we've met our goal. We're going to Cooperstown. It's just stuff like that. I like content here on the air that provokes insight. I look out the window here. I see people all the time. Stuff that drives my curiosity. There are certain people that I really want to interview. This man in our community who's totally blind, I'm hoping to get him on the air someday. There's a guy that walks in front of my window that has for the last 5 years, and I've seen him. One of these days I'm going to run out, and I'm going to offer him a microphone because I want to know. I'm curious. I want to know what his story is. You know, if you know me well enough, you know I love to goof around. I love to entertain. I love to get silly, but I also love to get serious and pay attention to topics and subject matter that are relevant to our everyday lives. Relatability is probably the single most important element of this podcast. There's definitely going to be things that you can't relate to, but there's definitely going to be things that you can. From silly things like your husband clipping his toenails in bed to serious subject matters. There's something that you're going to relate to, directly or indirectly, that has affected you in some way in your family or someone you know. Whether it's alcoholism, drug addiction. I love to interview the movers and shakers that have done great things. I love to interview people who teach me what they've learned. I love to listen to what they have to say and imagine myself being in their shoes and experiencing what they've experienced in everyday life, in the real world, things that I haven't experienced. I wonder, and I've wondered since Friday, if the intent of me having Brandon Carbo on the air Friday was misunderstood by most. I've had a few people that have said, absolutely not. It was misunderstood by a select few. But I still wonder if I wonder about the people out there that think that I had Brandon Carbo on the air for the shallow reason of just glorifying him and his lifestyle and his actions. Do you really think that I would bring someone on in our community who has caused harm to promote that? To say, hey, you're deserving of my microphone here because I want to make you famous or give you kudos for doing what you've done. I know he denied some stuff. I know he admitted to some stuff. I know there was a lot of stuff that came out of his mouth that wasn't true at all. Maybe some of it was. Maybe some things, folks, we will never know what the truth is. But do you really think I would bring someone on the air that just because you're coming on the air here, that means that I'm praising you or giving you my lights and my cameras and my microphone because I want to give you more attention to continue doing what you're doing? Do you really think that that's my motive? Or do you think maybe there was a deeper meaning behind it? There's part of me that's like, going forward, do you just want the flowers and the feel-good roses all the time? I'm always going to entertain with and be goofy and be silly and joke around and laugh because that's medicine for me to begin my day every day, and frankly, it is for you. And maybe you think some of the stuff is funny. Maybe you don't. That's fine. But if you only want the filtered stuff, if you only want the feel-good stuff, and almost every day I post the daily dose of feel-good. I think there's plenty of great news out there. You have to dig a little deeper for it sometimes, sadly. But I like to find that feel-good stuff, and I like to put it on the air, and I like to talk about it. But if you can't either handle or you don't want someone like Brandon Carbo to come in here and tell their story, let me know. Let me know. And I'll just give you the generic shit that all the other media sources are giving you. But if you want some real stuff that's not pre-recorded, not edited, let me know that too. Please don't ever accuse me of interviewing anyone for the sake of getting likes. Let me make it very clear. That is the last person that I am. I have many faults, but that ain't one of them. I interview people for my own curiosity, for genuine reasons. And I hope you can understand that. I believe that my sponsors believe that. I believe that the majority of the followers of Aired Out believe that. And like I said before, if there's 10, 15, 20 people listening, and one of them has laughed or had a smile on their face or has been impacted in any way from the guest or anything, any of the content on Aired Out, then I have met my goal and I'm satisfied. If there's 50,000, 100,000 people that tune in and few of them or none of them are affected in any way, that doesn't mean shit to me. I don't interview people for likes. I hope I've made that very, very clear this morning. Let me know what you would like. You as the listener, you as the follower of Aired Out. I have always felt that this is your podcast. I don't take my audience for granted. Every single day, I am blessed to have you and for all of us to be together. We're all watching, we're all listening at the same time. I'm here with you, you're here with me. You know what's going on in my life, whether it's something bad, something good, something funny, something not funny. You know what's going on. We're all here together in the same room. Let me know how you would like me to proceed. Okay? I'm 7 years into this now. If you would like me to change the direction, let me know. Give me your feedback. You don't have to post it here publicly. You can send me a private message too. You know how to do that. I've got my own personal Facebook page too, JD Green. Send me a text message right through Messenger on that. I want to hear what you have to say. In the meantime, I feel like some of those people that tuned in last Friday for the first time ever and caught that interview and posted the accusations that I was interviewing him for gains, for followers, for likes, for shares. In the meantime, I will take those messages and I will disregard them as, I'm going to put them in a box of people that don't know me, don't understand my podcast. And I'll leave it at that. My regular listeners, every day. You are what matters to me. I want to hear from you. And it doesn't matter to me if there's 10 of you or 50 of you or 100 of you. You are what matters to me. I want your feedback. Have a blessed day, everybody. God bless. Please take good care of one another. And don't forget, Sweethearts and Heroes, tomorrow morning, right here on Aired Out. I can hardly wait. Thanks to my sponsors for supporting this podcast. Thanks mostly to you for watching, listening, for whatever reasons you do each and every morning. I am so blessed by you. Thanks for listening. Thanks for trying to understand me. I know I'm babbling this morning. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, everyone. All right? Stay dry. Love you.